Welcome, brothers and sisters, to Desire of Ages. Hope you're well. So the last episode, we were looking at Christ, and we're looking at how he dwelt among the wicked inhabitants of Nazareth, and yet it did not affect him. Yet he made sure that he completed his mission. So we're reading today Desire of Ages 72, paragraph 3. So Jesus lived in a peasant's home and faithfully and cheerfully acted his part in bearing the burdens of the household. He had been the commander of heaven, and angels had delighted to fulfill his word. Now he was a willing servant, a loving, obedient son. He learned a trade, and with his own hands worked in the carpenter's shop with Joseph. In the simple garb of a common laborer, he walked the streets of the little town, going to and returning from his humble work. He did not employ his divine power to lessen his burdens or to lighten his toil. Jesus worked in childhood and youth, mind and body were developed. He did not use his physical powers recklessly, but in such a way as to keep them in health, that he might do the best work in every line. He was not willing to be defective, even in handling of tools. He was perfect as a workman, as um, as he was perfect in character. By his own example, he taught that it is our duty to be industrious, that our thoroughness and that our work should be performed with exactness and thoroughness, and that such labor is honorable. The exercise that teaches the hands to be useful and trains the young to bear their share of life's burdens gives physical strength and develops every faculty. All should find something to do that will be beneficial to themselves and beneficial to themselves and helpful to others. God appointed work as a blessing, and only the diligent worker finds the true glory and the joy of life. The approval of God rests with loving assurance upon children and youth who cheerfully take their part in duties of the household, sharing the burden of the father and mother. Such children will go out from the house to be useful members of society. So, Christ, like it says, Christ being the commander of heaven, showed diligence and showed sort of hard work even when he was on earth, and he kept to his job. And brothers and sisters, it's very important to learn a trade that requires your physical as much as your mental use and talents as well, right? And when you find a job like that, it not only is beneficial, but it's also rewarding. And that's what God had put for us from the beginning. See you on the next one.